A woman lay on an inflatable ring, soaking up the sun and enjoying a leisurely afternoon. Suddenly, bubbles rose from the water. An unidentified creature was slowly approaching her from beneath the surface. The next second, a sharp blade pierced the ring. The weapon slowly adjusted its angle. By the time the woman realized what was happening, it was already too late. Her agonized screams alerted all the animals in the vicinity. 10 minutes later, the police cordoned off the entire lake area. They decided to dispatch a diver to investigate the lake bottom. His mission was to find the killer lurking beneath the water. The diver descended rapidly and reached the lake bottom. As he was examining clues left at the scene, he suddenly felt a hand on his shoulder. He was so startled he nearly lost control. Fortunately, it was just another victim's body. After regaining his composure, he continued his search and discovered a tightly closed door. He pushed it open, and a horrifying sight that left him frozen in place. The killer stood right before him, holding a sharp knife. Prolonged underwater work had caused the diver to suffer leg cramps. The killer seized the opportunity to violently yank his oxygen hose. Ultimately, the diver tragically drowned. In the midst of despair, police on the surface noticed bubbles continuously rising to the surface. Two officers reacted immediately and dragged him onto an inflatable boat. Though they acted swiftly, they were unable to change the diver's fate. Seeing the bubbles still rising, the chief ordered both ends of the river to be sealed off and decided to drain the entire riverbed to force the killer to emerge. Several pumps operated simultaneously, and the riverbed was soon completely dry, but all that remained at the bottom was a single, lonely oxygen tank. Clearly, the criminal had already escaped. With no other options, the chief and John returned to the police station. Just then, a new lead came in from the Italian police. Someone reported a suspicious intruder in the dock area. Upon hearing the news, the sheriff perked up. He immediately ordered John to turn around and speed up, driving at full speed toward the seaside square. As soon as the car came to a stop, the sheriff and John drew their guns and rushed in, launching a full-scale search. To cover more ground, the two split up. The sheriff discovered a blood-stained handkerchief. The next second, a man in a diving suit appeared. Hearing the gunshots, John immediately gave chase, but the suspect took advantage of the chaos and quickly escaped. After rescuing the chief, the two rushed out of the building, guns drawn. Seeing that the suspect had already boarded a submarine, they had no choice but to continue the pursuit. The suspect fled at full speed, jumped onto a speedboat, and then swiftly transferred to another submarine. To shake off the pursuit, the chief realized that bullets could no longer hit the target, so he and John boarded the submarine together. But John had never operated a submarine before. While traveling at full speed, he accidentally flung the sheriff into the water. At that moment, John couldn't turn around and could only desperately chase after the criminal. Soon, John's submarine closed in on the target. Just as he was about to catch up, the criminal suddenly made a sharp turn into a narrow waterway. John was forced to clumsily follow. Sensing the pursuer approaching, the criminal turned again into an even narrower waterway. John kept hot on his heels. The next second, the criminal drove the submarine onto the street, using the massive momentum to launch into the air and land in another river channel, successfully leaving John far behind. Just then, a giant oil drum appeared ahead. The criminal had no time to react and crashed straight into it. In the end, the criminal lost his life due to his own mistake.